Welcome to the Foul Play YouTube channel.
Hey, Sugar. Welcome to Coffee with Foul Play. My name is Dr. Cohane, Dr. Cherie Cohane. It's good to be back. It's good to see you all again. Now, Cherie has to go. She has to go for a hair appointment, and it'll be Dr. Silkman taking over for a while. Why, thank you, Sugar.
Security, hey. Somebody called security. We have an imposter.
Hey, everyone. It's good to be back. It's been quite a long time since we've done a coffee episode, and it's good to be back, guys. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with Foul Play. My name is Dr. Silkman, and today we're going to have just a lighthearted discussion, really a get together after a long period of time. We're just going to update everyone what we have been doing. First of all, I'd like to say and a big welcome to all of our subscribers. We have 1,250 subscribers to our YouTube channel, and that is awesome. It's just so delightful to see so many supporters. We're just over 1 year old, 1 year young actually, and we've done many things. Our YouTube channel has had over 390,000 views, and that's fantastic. So guys, if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see that we've done many presentations. At the moment, we're doing a lot of the trial readings from the actual Stephen Avery case, in which certain members take on the persona of the person that they're reading, and they have been absolutely incredible. We've also done a whole series of powder puff presentations on our YouTube channel. We have dispatch phone calls. We also have Stephen Avery's phone calls, if you're interested in doing that as part of your research. We have done an extensive array of coffee presentations in which our team and our panel has gone through both Making a Murderer #1 and Making a Murderer #2, and we discuss all the episodes and we talk about the major findings of those episodes. We've also done a whole series of presentations by specific members, and also we've also got we also look not only at the Stephen Avery and Brenton Dassey cases, we also look at other cases as well, not to the same degree, but we mention them. I mean, we're very mindful of the wrongful convictions that occur in our society. Now, guys, joining me today is my esteemed panel members. We have BB, Jack61, we have Neverly, Not My Verbiage, Susan, and we have Zoe. Now, Zoe will be monitoring chat. So guys, if you've got any questions, if you've got any suggestions of what we can do in the future, please don't hesitate, and we'll try and answer all your questions on the live. So guys, not to waste any more time, we're going to open it up to the panel. Just give us your thoughts, how things have been going. Yeah, and we'll proceed from there. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, Jack61, do you have any comments?
Going through the trial readings, and this is probably my third time really going through them. This time being in an open format, but what I've noticed, and I know that you agree with me, that in reality, yes, they could have taken this trial and at max, and I'm talking about with breaks and interruptions, a week max, a week, without all the fluff and all the bullshit and all the crap.
Yes, and yes, you're right, Jack. And if I could just comment, a lot of you guys have done a sterling job at reading various parts, and I know that Susan, who I'm sure will comment in a minute, she's definitely possessed by Sweaty Boy. But Susan and all of you guys have done a phenomenal job in your parts. And it's amazing that, as Jack 61 said, when you actually do read the part, you realize exactly how much time was wasted by the attorneys. I don't know if everyone agrees, but you're right. If the attorneys were on point, the trial could have been, I reckon, a fifth of the length that it went. I found that there was a huge amount of filler, and really that, I reckon, in my opinion, that just served to, everyone's puffing out their chest. It's a real pissing competition in many, many ways. And I think a lot of the focus, the main points were being lost. And I think that's a real tragedy. What do you think, Jack?
That's exactly right, because what they kept doing, and, this was really, well, it actually is kind of scattered, but, going through with Gullen questioning Culhane, the one we just did, and
yes.
he kept reiterating, and he was wanting to name off each piece and again and again.
Yes.
It was redundant. It was just, why didn't he just ask a more lengthy question and include each item of evidence, because it was the same
Correct.
answer.
Correct.
But
Correct.
It was just, it's just ridiculous. But I will bring up one quick thing, and I'll let it go.
Yes.
that we did. Item W holds a special interest for us, don't it?
Item W certainly does. And at the end of the day, look, there are gold nuggets. I know the attorneys, Strang and Buting, have been criticised a real lot, but it's easy to do from our perspective. But when you're in the heat of a major trial like this, and don't forget, you've got people like Kratz, Fallon, and Garn, who are always objecting, always into the ear of the judge, and trying to block you at every possible situation. It wouldn't have been too easy. However, I believe a little bit better preparation by both Strang and Buting in terms of their overall questioning strategies, I think would have been more poignant and more powerful, because certainly both Strang and Buting unearthed a lot of very interesting points. And I really didn't understand the significance of item W, but Buting really discovered that and pointed it out. The significance of item W is just mind-blowing, because it actually showed that the state had a lot of biological material from Stephen Avery prior to 2005. Now, everyone was jumping up and down about the blood vial, right? That was there from 1996. But my God, they had fingernail scrapings, they had pubic hair, they had head hair, and they also had item W, which was a buccal swab of Stephen Avery in 2003, right? Now, you think about it, guys. If you have a buccal swab, you can prepare genomic DNA from Stephen. And if you keep that DNA in the freezer, and if you look after the buccal swab, potentially you can do anything nefarious. Now, I understand that, it's being a little bit mischievous, but if you follow what Buting was doing, he was trying to destroy the credibility of Culhane, right? Basically
right.
Saying that, what do you think, Jack?
Well, absolutely, he was. And another thing, he talked about significantly was contamination. So to me, he didn't directly accuse her of contaminating IMFL, but
correct.
That was the underlying tone. That's what I took away from it.
Correct.
Another really underhanded thing that Gone did, I thought it was really underhanded. It was he showed he kept talking about Avery's blood and being especially around the ignition switch. And then he pops on that picture of Stephen Avery's cut finger.
Yes, correct.
And
correct.
with no foundation, and there was no blood running from that. You know, and the defense rightly, they objected to it right away, which they should have.
Correct. I mean, like I said, to me, I think it's fantastic that the foul play team are reading the trial transcripts. You certainly, I mean, Susan, I'm sure will comment, you really get into the mood of the characters and you really understand what was going on during the trial. And even though some of the reads are very long, you can see the strategies that were put in place by both the defense and also the state. And yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot. So for me, it was a light bulb moment when item W, the buccal swab, was mentioned, because Norm Gunn, I reckon he turned white as a ghost. He now was saying, "Hey, look, Judge, is the defense now changing from a blood planting scenario to planting using the swab?" And often many people everywhere, many YouTubers talk about the groin swabs, planting DNA using the groin swabs. Well, that may be true, but guys, they already had buccal swabs, right?
That's right.
That's Avery.
That's right.
In 2003, right? And I did a presentation on that. And by all right, by the statutes of the Wisconsin laws back then, they had to actually destroy item W. Once they got their DNA profile from it, they actually had to destroy it, but they kept it. And that caused a lot of embarrassment. Remember that Remica had to go find all the samples that they held in cold storage. And, even though someone may argue, oh, yeah, but, these items have been stored, it was amazing that Biochemistry discovered that the actual package was closed by Scotch tape, not evidence tape.
That's right.
That means that somebody had access to those buccal swabs, and that's pretty astounding. All right, guys, do we have any other comments from anybody else? Bibi.
It's kind of ridiculous that they would pick that. If they had a blood planting scenario, that they couldn't have like another one or 6,
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And if everybody wants to chime in the audience, Zoe is there reading comments, and maybe if everybody votes and says yes, maybe Zoe would give us a sneak peek of some of the bloopers, possibly.
Correct, BB. Yes, you're right. If I could just make a quick comment, you're right. It was pretty obvious from hearing what Garn was trying to point at. He was quite happy with the defense to go with the blood planting scenario because, of course, he knew the FBI EDTA results, but he got very embarrassed and very heated when Biochemistry talked about item W, the buccal swab. Now, remember, guys,
why can't it be? Why can't it be the blood planted, the buccal swabs, the crutch swabs planted, the key, the bones? Why can't it be? It's ridiculous that they would say, "Oh, if you're going to say shit was planted, it can only be one thing." Right?
Correct. And it's amazing how Biochemistry said, well, some witnesses have said that they saw no blood on various objects like the hood latch swab and also the key. So obviously the DNA was from non-blood sources. Well, lo and behold, a buccal swab is where you have epithelial or inner cheek cells on the buccal swab. So remember, Culhane would have prepared genomic DNA from Stephen back in 2003 when he was exonerated. Now, the question is, all Debunking had to do was show, hey, look, Judge, we have an element of doubt. These guys have kept the biological material of Stephen in their laboratory for 2 years. And, that's pretty well damning. But I'm not sure whether the judge or the jury really understood it, but it was a very, very good point. Yep, awesome. Okay, guys, does anyone have anything else? Not my verbiage. Have you got a comment?
Well, they're all waiting for Zoe.
Oh.
Oh, are they voting? Is everybody voting? Yeah.
They're like, yes, Zoe.
Zoe, how's the vote going?
What?
How's the vote going there in chat?
Yep.
I don't know.
Want to see the sneaky preview?
It's just audio, no video. Audio.
That's right.
Oh, the blooper reel? Oh, dear.
Give us a sneak peek. Everybody wants one. It's popular.
Okay.
Camera started coming right up.
Yep. This one is between Kratz and Tadic. I hope you can hear it.
Did you see what Stephen Avery was doing at the time?
Standing there, standing by the fire. Isn't that a song? Standing by the fire.
You're killing me, Zoe. There's a can't even start the fire. Is that what you're thinking of?
Oh, isn't that a song?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one you were singing, Susan.
Your grandma, my grandma, standing by.
Yes.
Your grandma and my grandma were gonna set the light on fire.
People hear it on the chat.
I can't hear it. I can't hear
They
it.
can hear it in chat.
I won't be that day. Yeah.
I was right.
I can't hear it in chat.
Yeah, they can because they're laughing their behinds off.
Yeah, everyone else could hear it, just you couldn't.
Dang.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Is it finished?
Yes.
Okay. I'll review it when we hear it. Yeah. Well, look, it's great to have fun. Bibi, do you have a comment?
Oh my God, you used that song. I had that song in my head for weeks.
You heard it?
No, I had it in my head. I was talking about it with Linda about my grandma and your grandma sitting by the fire. I had that in my head for weeks. I told them guys about it, and you didn't know, and I didn't know.
Oh, Lord.
That was weird. Oh my God. Okay.
It was funny.
Possession.
I mean, I went and listened to it on the channel so I could hear what you guys were doing.
Yeah, I used my other device, but yeah, it's weird you use that song. Oh my God. I
Yeah.
told Linda, I said, usually when there's a song stuck in my head, it's there for a reason. I just don't always know the reason for a long time. And then you use that song, and I'm like, oh my God, I was dying over here.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. I'm sure we will do a blooper reel, right, Zoe? And we'll release it.
Oh, yeah. It's in the making.
Well, Zoe's been busy recording, so me and Zoe haven't got to
Yes.
talk much of lately.
No,
Yeah,
I
so
haven't been
we
talking
had
to
no
anyone.
idea. We had no idea about that song. You know, she hadn't been around when I discussed it.
Yes.
A few
isn't that
times,
incredible?
like a week ago. Yeah, that's weird.
I'm only talking to Kratz, Strang, Buting. Oh, it's crazy.
Busy with other people.
Got to give a big shout out to Wizard and just Rhonda and all the others that have helped out.
Oh, yeah.
They've done such a, well, I mean, you have to want to do this because it's all voluntary. And I can't think of taking an idea, anyone can take an idea and say, hey, that's a great idea. But until you implement it, I mean, this is a pretty big project. And my hat's off like a million times over to Zoe, because I've seen what she does have to piece this stuff together, and she's really good at it. But it takes a lot of her time. So we really owe her.
But it's fun. It's fun, and all the people are just, they're just available every time I hear. I ask, does anyone want to do any recordings? Yeah, I'm here. I'm available. We can do it. It's just because everyone else is ready and wants to do it. It's just, gives you the energy, and it's awesome.
Yes.
I don't know what I will do after we have this 27 days recorded.
So we counted one day. How many people did we count up that had participated? Like 15 or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, we have Brendan's pretrial, and then we have Brendan's trial, and then I don't know how Dr. Silkman and everybody else feels, but I really think we should do the 2010 post-conviction hearings.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to do. No, that sounds wrong, but I want to read Mark Wiegert.
Mark Wiegert? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
In Brendan's trial, I mean.
Yes, yes.
I got to get in.
For sure.
It's fun.
For sure. Okay, Jack61, do you have any further comment?
Well, in doing these recordings, my thought was so long ago is that, a lot of people don't want to read the trial transcripts, but they're hugely important to understand.
Yes, they are.
The elements of the trial. I mean, I think, you guys will agree with that. But a lot of people don't like to read. It gets mind-numbing. So, and there's nowhere that, we can find the trial recorded anywhere. So why the hell not, right?
Correct.
People that want to know about it, they can just tune in and listen to whatever parts they want or all of it. So anyway. Yes.
And, you could always play it back in the background while you're doing something else.
That's
and
right.
It's amazing how many gold nuggets that you pick up as you
Washing dishes, driving back and forth to work. Yeah.
Correct. All right. Not my verbiage. You want to have a couple of minutes and tell us what you have been doing?
Oh, I've been busy. Me and Becca Nash have opened up a Discord for Brendan only. Brendan Talks is his name.
Awesome.
And we've also started a brand new YouTube channel, and it's of the same name, Brendan Talks. And the real cool thing is Brendan named it himself.
Oh, wow.
And Brendan is involved in it. Becca talks or emails quite frequently to Brendan and asks him if there's anything he'd like to see done or talked about or anything like that. So he has a really big hand in the Discord and in the YouTube channel. So that's really neat.
That's awesome.
And Monday is his birthday. So we are having a live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're having a live birthday for, it's called the Birthday Bash, and it's going to be like a live birthday card. So we're going to have people come on and just say what they'd like to say happy birthday to them. Everybody's welcome. We'll drop the link and, we'll let people on to give their happy birthday. So it's kind of like something, when he gets out, he gets to see that reporters were doing that. So this is just kind of something positive for when Brendan gets out so he can see his supporters and the things we were doing to support him.
Yeah. I just want to say, Linda, you guys are doing just a fantastic job. It really, I have a connection to the characters that I've read and a connection to the characters that I hear during the trial. And you can really connect with those people, but to actually talk with Brendan, communicate with Brendan, and keep his case, his memory alive and progressing. I think, you know, I tip my hat off to you guys, Linda, and you know, just a huge effort. And I just want to say that I really enjoy your shows. They're very, very funny, and low budget production, but you certainly get the point across. That is for sure. That's just completely awesome.
You know, keeps talking about him. It's not much we can do as far as his case goes. We pretty much have to wait, and we know that. But, you know, we're trying to show Brendan as he is now and not trial, you know, see what he's like in his life now and have something for him positive to look at other than, you know, the trial, which is depressing and, you know, hurtful. And, you know, so maybe this is just something, you know, help keep his spirits up and to let people know that he isn't that person. He's, you know, he's not what they said he was. We all know that, but I mean, just, you know, you kind of think of him as a 16-year-old kid still, and he's a 30-year-old man. So,
that's frightening.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep his name alive out there, and you know, access to everybody if they want to write to him. Everything Brendan is in the Discord, and it's all about him. And we just everybody join. Well, you're all welcome, and you know, just you know, keep saying Brendan's name. I guess that's what we're trying to do.
Yes. And well, look, a real credit to you guys. I tip my hat off. I think that's fantastic. And, you know, I'm so glad that you're part of the team. You know, we're all part of a big team, and we all have different skills and interests in a lot of areas. And I think overall together, we're just a big, you know, part of a jigsaw puzzle, and each person contributes in their own way. And in a way, we see Stephen and Brendan, like you said, back still in 2005, 2007, and to realize, guys, it's going to be 2021 next year. You know, a lot of years have gone by, and one doesn't really appreciate the fact that, you know, people change, people progress, and I think that's a real credit to you, Linda. I really look forward to it. Fantastic. Linda, any other comments?
No, just thank you, and everybody, you know, just join in. Everybody's welcome.
Yep, awesome. Neverly, do you have any comments about what you have been doing?
Well, hi everyone. First of all, it's so nice to do this. Have a coffee. It's been months. And it's so nice to see everybody in the chat. Oh my gosh, it feels like good old times.
And Everly helped organize this.
Yes, you did.
Well, you know, here we are, all of us. I just thought that maybe, you know, we should do it. And, you know, people generally like our coffee podcasts. And we didn't have any presentation today by Dr. Silkman. But just, you know, I wanted to see how's everybody doing, what they've been up to, and so forth. And it seems like we have a good turnaround on a short notice. Yeah. So thank you all. Yeah.
Oh no, thank you. It's good to get together with the team and just realize that yes, things are very quiet at the moment, especially with the cases. We're all waiting for the court to respond to Kathleen Zellner, and you know, you can see around the traps that a lot of the YouTube channels, it has been a little bit quiet, but that's not really unexpected. You know, we're all basically waiting. I'm very proud of all the work that our team has done. We've covered, if you look back at the work that we have done, the discussions that we've had as a group, we're not perfect, but I believe that we try and give a very unbiased approach. We're very reasonable. We've spoken with guilters. You know, we haven't been rude or anything like that. And it's good to review back the work that we've done. And I must say that, you know, if I could just mention it, I've been watching a lot of Richard McAdams' past YouTube videos. That's Ericosi, for those that don't know, and it's phenomenal. It's a huge loss. We all acknowledge that. But what is amazing really was Richard's passion and the amount of material that he covered so many years ago. And to think that we can look back at that body of work and we still learn so much. And it was amazing how much Ericosi was on the ball, so early on. And, we need to keep that work going and that pressure going. I believe that the state is very, very fearful of Kathleen Zellner, and, nobody wants to open that door. Guys, what do you think? What do you think? Am I exaggerating, or is the state in a panic?
I think so.
They're in trouble because, just 1 second, Neverland, I'll let you talk. The thing is that we look at merits of what the case, we've talked about this, merits of what the state has, merits of what Kathleen Zellner has put forth to the state or the courts and said, hey, look, we got a real problem here. You got massive issues all over this case, and here they are. We need to deal with it. New trial, whatever the new evidence you're hearing, whatever the case may be.
Yes. I feel, thank you, Jack. I feel that essentially what Kathleen Zellner has been able to do, with the benefit of hindsight to a degree, is that she's been able to go through Stephen Avery's case with a fine-tooth comb and pick the important points and show where there are deficiencies, where there are problems, and use her experts to highlight potential errors in the forensic material and the forensic evidence. I know that the trial attorney Strang and Buting tried to do that, but I think a lot of the gold nuggets were lost, whereas Kathleen Zellner has combed them all up and presented them bang, 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 one after each other, and that's pretty powerful. Neverly, do you have a comment?
Well, yes, during this lull, I continue to research, to talk about the case, whatnot, just thinking big picture, little details, whatever. And then family and friends kind of approached me and they said, you may have a problem. You have an addiction to this case. And I denied it because, no, I'm like, I can just walk away at any time from this case. So I did. I walked away. And I started looking at other cases.
Your mobile phone ran out of power?
Yeah, exactly. So that was short-lived. But I started, following something on YouTube. I don't know what they're called, some channels where they actually cover some interrogation by detectives.
Yes.
And when you watch documentaries about other cases, and unfortunately, there's so many twisted minds out there and like sick people and what they do, you start to draw parallels, to the Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey cases.
Yes,
and
you do.
I just keep thinking about one thing, which is, I think that I discussed this about this in Discord, maybe not, that when the investigators look for evidence and they find something, they report it to whom? They report it to the state, right? And the state is the one that goes after the defendant, the suspect, who should be presumed innocent, but usually they're not.
Yes.
So in this instance, why would Ken Kraft, if he received some exculpatory evidence for Stephen, why would he ever turn over that to the defense? He wouldn't. He gets to control.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So he has a full control of all of this. And I know that this is all known, but it's very frustrating to know that, and that you feel like this, depression, like, oh my God, maybe they have something really. Maybe they found the 60% of Teresa's body. But
yes,
maybe they
correct.
hid it. I don't know. Because in other cases that I watched, one in particular, that's exactly what happened. They found the trunk of a woman that was dismembered.
Is that the Stephen McDaniel case?
Yes.
The lawyer. the student lawyer.
The student. Yeah.
Yes. I urge you guys, if you can't believe, you won't believe this particular case. It's the Stephen McDaniel case. I forgot the name of his victim, but basically, correct me if I'm wrong here, Neverly, but he lived pretty well close next door at a dormitory. He was a university student, same with this other lady, his victim, and he was basically stalking her. He had an obsession with pornography, and one day he ended up in her room, and he attacked her, and he dismembered her. He raped her, dismembered her, and believe it or not, he got rid of the limbs, the head, and guess what? He wrapped up the torso and put it in a bin, and they discovered the torso. And was he interviewed on camera? Did the news?
And
what happened?
All the while, they were interviewing people on campus because she was a student at the same campus where this sick mind was attending a law school. And they were interviewing random people, and they also interviewed him. And he goes, "Oh no, what a tragedy. I wish, she was such a lovely girl. She was very friendly. I hope they find her. Like, this is just atrocious, whatnot." And then one interviewer asked him, "Well, they found the body. How do you feel about it?" And the mere shock and surprise on his face. You could literally see all the blood drain from his head, and he got dizzy, and he said, "I need to sit down," because he wasn't counting that they were going to discover the trunk or anything that belongs to her. And then everything went south.
Correct.
But a very, very interesting case. So that reminded me of Stephen Avery's. Yeah.
Yes. I think you guys will agree that the more cases that you look at, the degree of shock and horror never continues to surprise anymore. It's amazing how all these crimes get committed, and also the other important thing is that there are many people who are charged for crimes that they weren't involved in at all. Jack 61. Thank you, Neverly. Jack 61.
There was one gold nugget that you talked about, these gold nuggets, and one that it really isn't presented in any trial document, but our esteemed ex-prosecutor left that for us before he fled social media, and that's the recording of Avery. And I'm going to tell you, this is a huge problem. It's a huge problem. It's
what recording?
Of Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen and his lawyer, Rod Beauty, I guess. Inside the privacy room. That's a constitutional violation. Any way you cut it.
That's right. We know about that, Jack.
Well, I mean, I knew it when I saw it, and that's the reason I wanted to do that during that presentation. Linda remembers it.
Yeah, that is a big deal. I mean, that jailer, he said how many times they're not in there. We don't need them.
Well, he was that straightforward. The jail administrator, he was that straightforward about recording devices in these rooms. And he said there are no recording devices allowed in there because you have clergy, you have all these other members. These are supposed to be a private meeting that are allowed. A lawyer and who have, counselors come in for people that are on drugs or alcoholics. So it's supposed to be private. So, and it's actually worse because I don't know, what nugget in Stephen's mind that he felt like he was being surveilled. But this motion that he brought in 2013 or 2014, I can't remember now. You remember, Linda? It was around that time frame. I know for sure. That went forward, and then basically this investigator got absolutely nothing from CASO. They wouldn't cooperate. Former employees were told not to cooperate with these investigators. So they go back to Judge. He goes back to Judge Angie with nothing, and the motion just died on the vine. So this is a huge problem.
Yeah, and we know. Thank you, Jack. And we know that Ken Kratz was listening into all the phone calls, the jail phone calls that Stephen was doing. And we also know that Paul Brendan got set up too when he was asked to ring his mother, and they utilised those words against him during the trial. So, yeah, these guys were into dirty tactics, and you just wonder how much privileged information was actually listened to by Kratz and everybody else. And then they can use that information against Stephen, against Brendan. I mean, there's plenty of violations. I mean, to me, the most glaring one was Fassbender holding on to the CD with all the violent pornography.
Absolutely.
And, you know, when you think about this, you could imagine if Buting and Strang got up and said, Judge, we'd like to present this. This is what we got from Bobby Dassey's computer. What do you think about this? So you could imagine it would have destroyed Bobby's credibility then and there, and it would have looked very, very nasty against him, right? Because you've got all these violent images regarding violence to women, right? And also the image of Teresa Horbach and Stephen Avery on the computer, a folder called DNA, and, you know, it doesn't look too good. Neverly, do you have a comment?
Yes. In stepping away from the Avery case, while I was watching other shows, there was one where a doctor murdered his wife and kids and whatnot.
Oh, yes.
Do you happen to know about that one too?
Yes, I believe.
Like a doctor and a lieutenant or something. Captain.
Yes, he was in the Marines. I believe he was a Green Beret. I think it was Jack.
Green Beret.
I think it was Jack 61 who alerted me to it. It's called Wilderness of Errors.
Yes, that's what it's called. Yes.
Yeah, it's a five-part. It's a 5-part documentary.
Oh my gosh!
I urge, if you can get your hands on it. If you can get your hands on it.
Yes.
Yeah, if you can get your hands on it, it's incredible. It, just very, very briefly, I think the person is called Jeffrey McDonald. He was a Green Beret, and he alleged that a group of hippies broke into his house. This was on the barracks, mind you, on the barracks. This was in 1970, I believe it was.
Yes.
And murdered his entire family, his wife, who was pregnant at the time, and his 2 young daughters.
He pulled a priest's wife.
Yes, and the only person who was left alive was Jeffrey McDonald. And oh my Lord, he was initially found not guilty. It was a military trial. And then slowly, by a lot of very careful examination and looking at the forensic evidence, he got charged with, really 4 counts of murder, because his unborn son was murdered as well. And it just goes to show the deviousness of certain individuals who, on the outset, look incredibly normal, likable, and can
reputable.
Can end up doing a Chris Watts back in the 1970s. And if you can get your hands on it, it's called Wilderness of Errors. Very, very frightening. Amazing.
What I wanted to say about that show is that when they showed a picture of his wife lying on the floor, she was stabbed, 27 times with an ice pick or something like that. The amount of blood, people, that was on the floor. And not only on that spot, but everywhere that he took her. There was his blood, there was her blood in the kitchen when he went to get the gloves. Oh my gosh. And this is all pre-DNA because it was done in 1970. But they were able to determine the different blood groups. Still,
blood groups.
The amount of blood, that's what struck me the most. On the bed, on the floor. He stepped in the puddle and he left a footprint, bloody footprint. everything. And we're talking about the small trailer that Stephen and Brandon cleaned it up, speak and say,
Correct.
come on. In
Correct.
that case, when Stephen gets out, he better open up his own business, cleaning by Stephen. Yes. Yes.
Hey, Dr. Silkman, do you remember
Yes.
what that lawyer did with the jacket at trial and stabbing it?
Yes. Yes.
The puncture holes, that was brilliant. That was
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes, and apparently that trial lawyer, he was new. He was a novice. And what he did was he went through all the forensic evidence and he actually showed the puncture marks were round holes and not what you would expect if you were being attacked and you were moving in your jacket. So basically what Jeffrey MacDonald did was he put his jacket or bed jacket over one of the victims or two of the victims and was stabbing through his jacket. So the holes were perfectly round instead of torn. And that goes to show what happens when you have brilliant people that do an examination of the forensic work and prove that the state's case is just nothing but garbage. And this is what I believe Kathleen Zellner has done brilliantly. In other words, taken apart the state's case, looked at the forensic evidence against Stephen, and just showed that it was complete garbage. And if I could just add, because I think it was Susan who did Stolke. Susan, is that correct? Did you do Stolke?
I think she
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yes, Susan, you did. And it's amazing how someone can say, look, I'm an expert at this, I'm an expert at that, I do blood splatter, I've done this particular course. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's the one that got the scenario completely wrong about Teresa Horbach being flung with bloody hair into the back of her RAV.
Absolutely.
And, he's there in court. Yeah. This is the likely scenario that she was picked up and flung into the back of her own RAV4 and yada, yada, yada. And, of course, that looked really bad with what Brendan was saying because Stephen, of course, never owned up to anything. And, someone else comes along who also is a blood splatter expert. And what they did is that they tried to reproduce what the state was saying. And the mere fact of that, no, you're not going to get that type of blood distribution pattern by flinging someone. You get that by hitting someone with a blunt metal object, and the blood flings back at 90 degrees and hits the door. Oh my God, that completely changes the scenario, right? So
I think Stokey said he had 2 40-hour courses.
He had 2 40-hour
That's
courses.
his education.
Yeah, but wait. But Susan, that's almost as good as Jean Couchet going to a drawing course and he's now an expert.
Right. That was his very first drawing.
Imagine we could all get these other jobs as being experts for trial things.
Well, and Sherry Culhane was grandfathered in.
Right. Yes.
Also.
Yes.
Correct.
She did not have the schooling to go with what her position would have required. Yeah.
As Pamela Anderson said, she only slept with the right people. Sorry.
Now, Neville, what are you trying to imply?
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. I mean, yes, correct.
Convicting these poor men.
Correct. But you see that when you dismantle the case of the state's case, they've really got nowhere to run. And just talking about the Jeffrey MacDonald case, when that attorney was able to completely destroy the scenario, basically what Jeffrey MacDonald was trying to say was that I think it was 4 hippies walked into his apartment or house and basically committed all these crimes, killed his wife, his 2 kids, and assaulted him. There was only one problem. there was absolutely no forensic evidence of anyone else being in that house. No one, as in footprints, blood, obviously DNA later on, hair, nothing. Footprints.
Kind of like Steve's trailer and
That's
Teresa.
exactly correct.
Yeah.
Right? That's exactly correct, guys. And you see, common and logic tells you that no crime was ever committed in Stephen's trailer or garage. Common sense tells you that when you do the forensic analysis and your own results show, hey, look, guys, there's no proof that Teresa Horbach was ever in here. If you have a false premise of how a scenario took place, then you have to hang on to that scenario no matter how ridiculous it looks. Linda, do you have a comment?
Yeah, well, even the worst, slasher movies, that people don't freak out until they see blood on the floor or blood on the bed or blood in the car, and I mean, lots of it. So even they get it right. If you're going to stay there,
correct,
someplace, you better have some blood someplace that looks like what you're saying,
Correct. And, what's amazing is that with Jeffrey MacDonald, he never cleaned up anything, right? There was no cleaning up anywhere. And they're able to show how he actually picked up his children and placed them in their beds because they were able to follow the different blood groups of the children. Each family member had a unique blood type. And so when they did a forensic analysis, they were able to show that the victims were actually moved from where they were attacked. So basically what MacDonald was doing was setting up a false scenario, right? But as Neville said, there was blood absolutely everywhere. In this particular case, even though allegedly Teresa Horbach was stabbed and cut and violently assaulted, there was absolutely nothing, right? And, these are the days of modern techniques, with the use of special lighting, special, touch DNA. There was nothing.
Absolutely
right?
nothing. But
absolutely
what they did
nothing
have,
in Stephen's trailer.
What I found also stunning, and it reminded me of Stephen's case, all the pictures that were taken for Jeff McDonald's case. When they called first 911, the military police showed up. And they started taking pictures, and there was some clothing on the stairs, and turned over a little pot with a plant. And then they let that photographer go, and somebody else came to continue taking pictures. And when they compared the two sets, the second photographer captured the clothing, but it wasn't on the stairs.
It was moved.
Things to the couch.
Moved. Correct.
And the little turned over pot with a plant was not turned over anymore. It was standing straight up. So obviously things were moved.
Correct.
People so things do happen like that. And I was thinking of the key, and
yes.
Oh, and the cards, the Valentine's cards, with all the ruckus and stabbing. 3 people
that was still standing.
Stabbed. They were still standing up.
That was still standing.
But even with like some loud walking or harder walking, all the cards would fall down. And then it's like, remember Stephen Avery's bookcase with all the change, remote control, and everything else that was on it? Yeah.
Correct.
Great show, people. And then there's tons of extra, like bizarre stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yes, there is. There is very much so. But, the sad thing is, guys, what we have here in the Stephen Avery case is a lack of in situ photographs, right? Anything to do with the cremains themselves, what happened at Cuss Road. We really have a lack of in situ photographs. Whereas in the Jeffrey MacDonald case, there were plenty of in situ photographs and actual proof, as Neville just pointed out, that people were changing or moving certain items within the crime scene, right? Because a lot of people came in to investigate to see what had happened. So they were moving things out of the way, right? So hence they were contaminating the crime scene. But
Yeah.
the major elements, of course, were still there. Bibi, do you have a comment?
It's a lot like that Darlene Routier case. Remember, they had in situ photos of stuff being moved during things that were knocked over aren't knocked over anymore. Yeah.
Yes,
there's a lot
correct.
of stuff moved on different spots in the kitchen, and yeah,
Correct,
people. There was just
correct.
too many people in there. People were moving stuff, stepping on stuff, whatever.
Correct.
You know. Yeah.
Correct. And that goes to show how proper forensic examination is so crucial. And the very first thing you do is you don't touch anything. You photograph it, you document it, you videotape it.
Don't let a lot of patrol officers in walking around.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, human beings being who they are, they naturally were very curious, and they came across a shocking crime scene with a lot of blood and a lot of violence. And, they contaminated the crime scene. But fortunately, the major aspects of the crime scene were still intact. And, it basically proved that nobody else was in that room except the wife, Jeffrey himself, and the two children. Nobody else had been in there. He had concocted the entire story from start to finish, and very, very. He basically was Chris Watts in the 1970s.
Well, Chris Watts would be a copy of him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the other way around, other dude's name first. Hey.
Yes.
We need to keep in mind that Zoe said we have a hard stop time.
Oh yes, we do.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah, we'll go for
a
probably
hard
another
stop time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. We'll probably go for another 5 minutes, but obviously I think we need to do another coffee podcast in the future to
More
discuss
often,
this.
yes.
Yes. I just wanted to say a few other things if I could just mention them. It was good to hear Mystic Jinx talk about her appearance, I think, on Dateline, correct me if I'm wrong, where she was talking about the Tiger King. And who were they talking about, Neverly? Who was that person they were talking about? You mean Carol fucking Baskin?
No, ask Jack. Ask Jack.
Isn't it Carol fucking Baskins? And I saw the other video, and it showed some kind of little tiny grinder that they feed 100 tigers with. Don't you fucking believe it? That's ridiculous. She's got one of them industrial grinders. Pull around with a G.
Yeah. I think
all right. I think we found the next case we can do some readings on. Jack, you're Carol. You're Carol Best.
He's
Joe.
Joe Exotic.
Yeah, Joe Exotic.
I gotta be that Joe Exotic. We'll cover him.
Dr. Silkman, can you just give a little shout out to Bibi? She's been manning the chat, the phone, the Memaholics.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Daily.
Sammy.
Daily. You can count on that. And we're missing Sammy.
Yes.
She has things going on.
Sammy's not here because she is actually building a recording studio in her bedroom right now, probably still as we speak, so that she'll have a place to record at and have quiet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want a big
thank you,
thank you, Neverly.
No problem.
A big shout out to BB. You'll find BB most days on chat, and she welcomes, and also Zoe and other members of Foul Play welcome new subscribers to our Discord channel, people that come in and out all the time. And BB spends a lot of time there talking to others. And I want to thank BB for her tireless work and effort. Like I said, what impresses me about our Foul Play team is that each one of us helps, does their best in all different manners. And doesn't matter whether you're on the chat or doesn't matter whether you're doing a presentation. everyone helps.
So
And it
so
keeps-
basically what they're saying is I'm the one who talks a lot.
Allegedly.
You're not saying you got a big mouth
I
or anything.
I resemble that comment.
Nice.
You know, well,
So
maybe
I'm
I was trying to be diplomatic there.
Yeah, you're the diplomatic one.
Yes, I was trying to be diplomatic, and just to let you know that with myself, I've been appearing live with Paul Capaldi and also Millbilly. Paul Capaldi's got a series at the moment where we're discussing certain aspects of the case, and we're talking about bones and other elements of the case, and it's I think we're on our 7th live that is tomorrow my time, and that's been a lot of fun, you know, just discussing
great
casually. Yeah,
Great.
it's been a lot of fun.
And Linda wants
Yes.
to interview you too.
yeah.
Yes,
You're still
yes,
you.
yes. Anytime. It's been really good fun. I mean, you know, we all know, guys, at the moment there's a bit of a lull in happenings of the case, of both cases. And a lot of people have gone into other cases and reading and studying them. And I'm certainly very interested now personally what happened to Stephen in 1985 with Penny Bernstein, and doing a lot of reading, because I believe that, in my opinion, to really understand what happened to Stephen in 2005, we really need to go back to what happened to him in 1985.
Yeah.
Because the
Absolutely.
Absolutely. 100%.
The parallels that what happened to him, the players that were around, the big honchos that were around then are still around now. And they
High
had
stakes, yes.
Yes, they had a massive influence on what happened in 1985. This was the sexual attack on Penny Bernstein. The same people were around that were around then were still around now. It's actually quite frightening. And you learn so much. And oh my Lord, there's not enough hours in the day to go through the material. But I'm sure we'll have another coffee, casual coffee session like this shortly. Jack 61, any final comments before?
Well, especially if you want us to have coffee, say so now.
Yes. I think if we can do this on a regular basis, I think it's a lot of fun, guys. What does the audience think? Do you want us to do this on a regular basis? We'll keep it short. We'll keep it short, just an hour or so. And I think that way we can keep up a really good rhythm of what's taking place. I'm all for it.
Good. There's a question from Alice Irvine.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
She says, what are the panel's thoughts on what the COA might do?
What do you guys think? What does the panel think?
I don't know.
I think she'll get a hearing.
Prolong it.
I think she'll get a hearing.
I can't see how she can't get
Me too.
evidence hearing.
With everything that she presented, that's what I was saying earlier, with everything that she's presented to the court, plus that fucking video that Kratz released, I don't know how. I mean, there's so many things wrong with how they treated due process. How can they not grant her an evidentiary hearing?
Okay, well, the case they just are redoing for that one guy, that Martinez guy, and that was because his Miranda rights were spoken English, and he is a Spanish-speaking person.
That's right.
Oh, yes.
Spanish,
Yes.
allowing him to have a retrial or whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that guy's guilty.
Yeah, and he's guilty because he admits it. He admitted it. He said he hit the kid, but I don't know how far it went into that. But still, Kathleen has way more than that. So my feelings are there's just too much legally for them to ignore.
Yes, you're correct. That's I think there was several podcasts. Paul Capaldi, Millbilly did one regarding was it Garcia? The guy was Mexican, I think, and was involved the death of that 2-year-old boy. And they're going to basically do a retrial because of procedural errors that they made. So if they could do a retrial with this particular case, surely Stephen could get one as well. So yeah, be very, very interesting. Awesome. All right, guys, we've gone well over an hour, and I don't want Zoe to kill me.
Shocker.
Maybe we're still going. Maybe Zoe pulled the plug already.
I did not.
All right.
It's only 1 hour and 5 minutes. We haven't been over so much over an hour.
Well, I heard that hard stop thing, so I thought.
No,
Yes.
we're still live. I think.
Awesome. Well, look, guys, why
Did you
don't
say I
we?
think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is your finger itchy?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, why don't we go through the panel and give us some of your final thoughts, and because I definitely would love to do this coffee again next week if you like to do it. Just a casual chat, get the crew back together, and we'll have other people joining in. Tell us your thoughts, your final thoughts, and where you see the cases going. Bibi, your comments.
Well, my general thought is, sure, I'm game because we're on winter schedule now, so I don't have to get up early in the morning.
Yes. And where do you see the cases going?
I can't see how they could get out of it, not at least giving him an evidentiary hearing.
Yes. Yep. Very, very good point. Jack 61, do you have some final comments?
Definitely. I think that we should probably do this on a regular basis if everybody wants to do it. I'm certainly game. I think it's a good thing to keep in contact with everyone. And as the case progresses, I think that we probably will, my personal thought is by spring, they will grant an evidentiary hearing and the case will move forward from there. And
Awesome.
Just one final thing. Again, thanks to everyone that's helping with the trial readings, the transcripts. It's really appreciated, and my special thanks to Zoe for all the hard work she's put into it. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Huge effort. Huge amount of work.
And thanks to everyone that's tuned in and stayed in contact with us. Even though we've not really been doing any lives recently, but
yes.
So yes. Thanks to everyone.
Yeah, yes, of course, Jack. The other thing, of course, is that, as soon as we get more information, some more documents, of course, we will continue to do presentations and things like that. But like I said, at the moment, things are a bit of a lull. We're all in a holding pattern at the moment, basically waiting to see what will transpire with Kathleen Zellner, and also your fingers crossed with both Stephen and Brendan. But not only those two, there are many other people who, cases, wrongful conviction. It's pretty bad out there. Thank you, Jack 61.
Yeah,
yes.
one last thing to note that the rookie has released some newer documents that we haven't seen, DCI reports that need to be come through. He's released them on Twitter. Hopefully we can get these in a PDF format or something that that we can present. But there's some interesting information and some pretty conflicting things that probably need to be looked at. So maybe later.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Jack 61. Neverly, do you have any final comments?
Well, this was great. I'm really happy and smiling throughout the whole thing. So yes, I would like to continue on a regular basis to discuss certain things. I have a list of all the like weird questions about the case, all the holes and difficult questions, and maybe a theory or two. But yeah,
Awesome.
and those documents that Jack mentioned that AC Rookie posted, I read a few of them, and oh boy, yeah, we can spend a whole hour or two on those, just discussing.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Neville. And thank God you're not addicted. Thank God you're not addicted.
No way. And I
never
can carry
leave.
a conversation, normal conversation with my friends and family. They all think that I'm crazy because all I talk about, did you hear this? Did you hear that? It's all about the murder and the courts and, and the rulings. Oh my God. I need to get away.
Neverly also likes the wintertime format.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
that was brutal, but I did it.
Yes. For me, it's 6:30 in the morning, but that's okay. I've got to get up at 6 anyway for my dog.
It's gonna be better, Silkman, once the Americans and the Europeans change the time. It's gonna be 7:30 a.m. for you.
Oh, too easy. Too easy.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
I had 5:30.
Yes, that's why we're on the winter time. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Linda, do you have any final comments?
Oh, I just want to say it's been great coming back. I missed all. And thank you, everybody, for joining us to chat. We missed you. And I'm all up for this coffee since I'm new here and I've only been to a few of them because that was the rule. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, I love putting all the great minds together and, just talking about it. And the support that you get from Foul Play is unbelievable. It's 100% team effort everywhere. So if you have not yet, please join. You will not regret it. You certainly will not. And thanks.
Thank you so much, Linda. Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. And all of us appreciate your hard work that you're doing, especially with your Brendan Dassey podcast. That's awesome.
And Linda also likes the wintertime format.
Yes, awesome. Susan, would you like a couple of final words?
Well, sure, finally. I'd just like to say we're having a lot of fun with this trial, and I hope we haven't offended anybody by taking such a serious matter and having fun with it. But I think it helps to listen to so much text, and I've learned a lot. I started reading the trial a couple of years ago and didn't get very far into it. So by reading it, I've picked up on a lot of things, and it's very interesting, and just really enjoy doing it. It's a blast. And I just want to say one shout out to Joris.
Yes.
Teresa Habak. Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, I'll tell you what. Some of the readings and some of the accents, I have been on the floor in stitches. Glenn Joe, some of the accents that you would not expect, and also Wizard with his very straight gun barrel straight accent, English accent is just superb, really superb. But everyone has done a great job.
And don't forget that Sherry.
And just Rhonda and her Pretrial reading the other day. Oh my God, it was so good. She was so riled up. It was
she was. If she could eat him alive, she would. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing how once you get into the role, I could see Rhonda being beauty. The way she goes, okay. So you, and that really was pissing me off as Cohen. And so I was ripping into it too. But you could imagine the interplay between those two on the stand, priceless. But Rhonda did an incredible job. It was a huge read. And Neville, you're doing are you doing my second favorite person?
Lisenberg? Yes, I'm doing Lisenberg. I did Asbender and I'm doing Lisenberg.
Oh my
Yeah.
Lord.
Who's doing LeBeau?
I wanted to do.
Neverly, who else?
Neverly's
And
doing
then he won't
LeBeau.
say anything.
Yes.
Faggot LeBeau. I keep calling him a faggot LeBeau, which is rude, but I can't
Yes.
stand him because he lied through his teeth and
There-
mustache.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know that there's one day it's entirely LeBeau, right?
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God. Yeah, I'm
And
happy
it's
to do him,
hard.
and I hate him. My toes
And
are
it's
curling.
200
Yeah.
pages. You can do it
Yeah.
alone.
Oh wow.
We can't forget Alan's great readings too.
Oh my
Oh my
yes.
God.
really good.
Oh my
Really good.
gosh, that guy is talented.
That was hilarious.
Where he was
The
eating.
blooper tape is going to be amazing.
Oh my God, I can't wait to put it out.
Susan
No.
hit on a really good
It
point.
it
And a
almost
real
sounds like
serious matter.
it
know,
almost
making
sounds
it-
like there'll be several in the blooper reel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think
several
the blooper,
blooper
I think the
reels.
blooper reel is going to be a winner. Zoe, do you have any final words?
Well, I just want to thank everyone for supporting us, for watching the trial readings, although they're sometimes 5 hours long, especially Dark Side of the Moon. She's always
Oh,
there.
Yes, Dark Side is always there.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Awesome.
And yeah, just
Oh, look.
it's awesome. I thought it was gonna be boring as hell, but now it really is. It's a lot of work. I won't deny that, but I so love it. It's when I get all those recordings and I have to glue them together. It's like putting a puzzle together, and I have so much
Yes.
fun, and I laugh my ass off sometimes. So
Yes.
it's really awesome.
It will be hilarious.
Yeah, putting
Look,
this entertaining twist on it, hopefully no one's offended, but
No.
putting that twist on it, I think helps keep people interested and listen to actually what's happening and what happened in the trial.
Correct.
I really hope nobody gets offended because of my Scott Teddich accent and voice, doing it a little bit Russia style. So I'm sorry. It's not vindictive at all. I promise.
It's a parody.
Oh boy.
Yeah, just some parodies. You know.
Yes.
That's on the next one, isn't it, Zoe?
Yes,
Hey,
and
it's
it's a
free
little bit
labor.
extended version of the trial, actually.
Oh, you mean you did your own version?
Yes, we did.
Oh no.
Quite a bit of ad lib.
Yep.
Well, hey, that's what you get when you get free labor.
True. That's
Yeah,
true.
you get what you pay for. Some people can't do it.
Correct.
We should do a little live skit afterwards, after it's all said and done.
Yes, we
We
should
should.
actually, in character. Sammy's with us.
Hi,
Can Sammy
Sammy.
speak? Or
Hey, Sammy.
Yes.
Hi, Sammy.
Hello, how are y'all? I had to hop in and just
Great.
visit with you for a minute and say hi. I'm in the
How's
middle
it
of
going?
remodeling the room, so just
no
want to get
worries.
done.
How's your recording studio coming?
Powder puff silk.
It's a coming.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, it's been so refreshing to come back and just talk about things. In general, we kept it nice and light. We discussed many different factors, and just to let you guys know, as soon as we find out anything interesting, we'll definitely do a presentation or come and discuss things. It's amazing that, 15 years later, we're still learning stuff, that we've never seen before. And it goes to show how much the state has really sequestered away and has put away that no one has seen before. But I feel that good things are going to happen for Stephen and Brendan. We don't know whether the real killers will ever be found or apprehended, but we need to put the heat on the state so that Stephen can have a fair trial, and this will impact on Brendan and hopefully ensure his release. So, there are many things that we can do. All right, guys. Jack, do you have a final comment?
On that note that you just said there about the state sequestering items away, I would almost bet real money that there is almost as many reports hidden, or not hidden, but we can't get, as that are stuck away at the DCI somewhere that we can't get, as that we already have in hand. Thousands and thousands of pages that we can't, photos, possibly even audio that we cannot get.
Yes, that's correct. You're very, very interesting. And I see that Neville wrote something about, what's that word, Neville, that you find hard to say?
Phenolphthalein. I don't know how you pronounce that word, man. Like, first of all, it's like 2 feet long, and then it has all these combinations and silent letters of phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein.
Also, the way you spelt it was very interesting as well.
I don't know. English is my second language.
English is the second language.
If I would have to say that word, if I would have to say that word, we would still be on that spot recording right now.
Right?
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
That was a challenge.
All right, guys. Who's doing the outro?
Oh, a Russian person.
The Russian guys is gonna say, everybody have a great weekend and enjoy all the other YouTube channels out there while we record. And this has been a Foul Play production.
Da.
See you, sugar.
Bye.
Bye.